Hi, I'm Christian.
And I'm Angela, and we are married
And bored. Well, Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. We are here again with, we're just kicking off week 2 big time.
Big time. We hope you had a relaxing weekend.
We just thank you for listening in again. And if you're new, welcome and Merry Christmas.
Welcome.
We are in the middle of a 2-week run of, what we call our holiday specials.
Yes.
Volume 2.
They are mini episodes.
Yeah.
If you're new or have just forgotten, we do episodes usually that are about an hour long. These are right around 15 minutes.
Yeah. It's kind of fun to switch things up a bit. And the goal of these episodes is to bring a game that maybe would not have made the regular rotation in our show, and that also make excellent gifts this holiday season.
True.
So we had a variety of games last week. Do you have just one game you want to mention that we talked about last week?
Well, I'm drinking coffee right now, so I'm going to mention Fika.
Yeah, that's a good one. Mm-hmm. Fika is good. I had a lot of coffee today as well. Mm-hmm. Not currently, which is why I just have water.
That is nature's bounty.
Nature's candy.
There you
water.
go. Water.
So yeah, we had a really great time. But today we are going to be talking about Sky Team, which was the rage this summer.
The rage.
Yeah.
All right.
You want to kick us off, Angela, and just talk a little bit about what Sky Team is?
Yeah.
And what we do in this game.
Okay. So in Sky Team, it is a 2-player only game, which we did mention one last week called Boop. And was that you trying to make the boop sound? And Fika, actually, is 2-player only.
That's true.
So this is another 2-player only game, except it is cooperative.
Yes.
So you're actually working together. One person plays the pilot, one person plays the co-pilot.
10-4.
And you are going to try to land an aircraft together. So the mechanic is actually dice placement. You're going to roll dice and place them on your board to control things. But the trick is there's only one phase of the game where you can talk to each other.
Yes.
And then things need to be silent. So...
Quiet.
Oh, you don't mean now.
No, not now.
Oh,
just
okay.
during the game.
Yep. And so that presents its own challenge. And then you have to land the aircraft, which, can I tell you a funny story?
About landing aircraft?
Yeah.
Have we done this?
No, you don't know. I'm going to bring this up.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So people that have listened to our episodes before probably know that I'm in a book club. And one of the women at book club listens to NPR all the time. Mm-hmm. And I believe, I could be wrong, but she said she heard this on NPR. Maybe it was an article she read that 50% of men think that they could land a commercial plane in an emergency.
Wow. Okay.
How do you feel?
Yeah, totally.
You do?
No. Of course not.
Compared with only 30% of women, which I thought 30% was high because usually women, like the whole...
Run the world!
Well, we do. But usually the whole, men apply for jobs that are way beyond their qualifications,
Oh, okay.
and women don't apply for jobs even if they have the qualifications. So it was just so funny because this woman was talking about she was going to tell her husband, and so she posed it as a question, and he said, absolutely, I could land a commercial airplane if I needed to.
Okay.
And she just was floored.
You know how many, dials and flips and switches there are in a commercial engine
Exactly.
cockpit?
So this is the safe way to channel that scenario is to play Sky Team.
Did you guys watch Hijack on Apple TV?
I did because I was with you.
Yeah, there's a scene where someone who's not a pilot should land a plane, and it's they just make it seem so easy. They're we're gonna walk you through it. Press the red button, turn this, and then we're landed. It's not it. Thanks, Hollywood.
Yep,
Just another thing that you ruined.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. This game is more challenging than the Hollywood scenario of landing an airplane.
This is a toughie.
But the good news is if you crash together. Nobody
hand in hand.
hand in hand.
Yep.
Okay, so that is the overview of Sky Team. And so why do we love it, Christian?
Well, I think number one for us is co-op. We started our board game journey.
Our journey?
By playing a lot of co-op games. And it was good for us to both get excited about winning. I get really upset about losing, and that makes me never want to play the game again. But
Well, me too.
you like the challenge of going, let's try again. And I say, no.
No.
Let's go to bed. But this one, it has the same thing. If I lose, I don't like it, but whatever. The co-op thing has just been great. If you're just getting into board games with a friend or family member, significant other, lover, whatever, you can... co-op is the way to go, in our opinion.
Yes, yep.
So right off the bat, co-op was one of the main reasons that I purchased this game. Fun fact about this game for us, we received this from Board Game Geek Secret Santa.
Oh my goodness. And I had never heard of it, which... is not saying that it's a bad game. It's just I wasn't initially like, oh, I want to play it because I didn't have any hype in my mind.
It wasn't on your radar?
Exactly. But now, man, I love it.
It's really slick. There's 2 roles, pilot, co-pilot, like Angela said, and they each have different things to worry about. Mm-hmm. And so there's just a nice, it's not tug of war, but it's more like a balance beam or a teeter-totter. That's probably better.
Oh, there you go.
And so you want to like balance the teeter-totter as much as possible as you try to land these planes, or this plane. It's just one.
Right. It's just the one plane that you're both in.
What do you love about it?
Okay, so I like the cooperative part. I think that's really cool and key for all the reasons you said, and just, I mean, especially this time of year, you might not want to go head to head, You might just want to keep it nice.
6 damage.
I like that it's challenging. That we didn't just like bust in and like win immediately.
Yeah.
I like the silent aspect part of the game. I like when games throw that in. Like, I think we talked about One Night, where there's the silent night part. We've talked about Kites before. I think it was in our last holiday special last year.
Kites was, that's a sleeper hit from last year.
Mm-hmm. So there's a scenario in there that you can do where there's no talking at certain points. And we've talked about the little card game, The Mind, before, just here and there. And I like it when there's a twist like that.
Yeah, I like it. I don't like it in this game.
You don't?
In this, it just seems out of place. I get why they do it, because you don't want to talk about you're not supposed to share information.
Not at the point after the dice are rolled.
Right, so once you roll your dice, you have this little shield and you hide your dice. Mm-hmm. So they don't want you saying like, well, I rolled a 6 and I'm going to play it here. Mm-hmm. And so it kind of prevents like the quarterbacking of like a co-op game.
Yes. Yeah.
But I think you can still, like, I don't know. Like, we played it with our son and he was like, Dad, don't talk. And I'm just like, well, we just got this game and we don't know how to play. Like, I'm going to talk.
Well, that's different, I think.
Yeah, but even so, like, I feel like there's still some, I don't know.
I think it's there to prevent the quarterbacking,
Yeah.
like you said. Like, hey, I'm just going to do all the thinking. So why don't you play a 4 to your board? I'll play a 3 over here.
Yeah, just don't talk about the game. Like, don't say, do you have any 4s?
Right.
Like, it's...
Right. That's the integrity of the rule, right?
Yeah.
So I also like the dice placement. I like we don't have many games like that.
I don't think
Merchants of the Dark Road.
Ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to have Dice Forge.
Yeah, but that was so long ago.
And then we have Falling Skies. But
that's true. That's similar-ish.
yeah.
But that's a solo one. But yeah. And I do like the board itself is really nice because it's all nested and the dice don't go anywhere,
Yes, it's very nice.
It's made very well. And putting it together was pretty fun because there was a lot of like folding, and then it's like they gave you these like little sticky tapes. And they're like, put this here to seal it up. And I was like, oh, I see what you're doing.
I
So
see.
cool. And then one of my favorite things visually is the center. There's like a aircraft I don't know what the word is. The word is not levelometer.
It's
But it shows how level your plane is to the horizon.
yeah.
And there's a word for that, I'm sure. And like to see that spin one way or the other, like it's just neat to see that on the board.
Like, is it called banking? Like banking left or right?
Yeah, I mean that's like the action, but
Okay.
it's not a bankometer.
No, it's not.
Pilots, let us know, what is that thing called?
Yeah, I mean,
all you men who can land planes commercially. What is it?
Let's say all the men that think they can land commercial planes, and all the women who probably really could
Oh, sick.
land a commercial airplane.
One other thing I really want to say about this game, too, that I like, is that there's multiple scenarios. It's not just like one and done, which would be dumb for a game to be like, all right, you did it, you're done. But there's different scenarios, and you can like mix and match some settings. Like there's different like distances that you start away from the airport, and there's different elevations that you start at. So like all that, you take in all that into consideration when you're playing. So mixing and matching that adds to the replayability for sure.
Totally. All right, who is this for? Well, we mentioned that it's 2-player only, so this is going to be another one that I think, like Boop, it doesn't mean you can't bring it to a big gathering. I think it just means like you're going to just be rotating. This one seems very much like a winner, like, okay, you know, like
you just rotate through.
Yeah, you just rotate through. Or, like you said, if you have a roommate or a significant other situation, it's a great one because of the cooperative nature.
Yeah, and it's short, so it takes
20 minutes?
20 minutes tops.
But it is pretty much adult only. I think it says 14 plus.
Yeah, it's tough because they're with that teeter-totter. Depending on what your co-pilot or pilot plays, you want to play within a certain range of his dice number or equal to, and if you don't, you know your levelometer will turn too much.
Man, we really got to figure out that word.
And you'll crash. So there's a lot of stuff like the game could end at any time because you crash.
Right.
Because you went too far in one direction or you were too low or whatever.
Yep. And then this is the toughie. Where can people find it?
Yeah, so finding this one, this is the one on our list for this year that you're going to have the toughest time finding. We were very lucky to get it during the Secret Santa event. I have seen a few copies at our local game store, but your mileage may vary. Like, just check if it sounds like something you're interested in. And unfortunately, too, like even online retailers are looks like pretty much sold out on this one, which is a super bummer. Even Amazon, if you're an Amazon person, you might be able to find some like reselling Amazon accounts that have it, but you'll probably pay a premium for that. Mm-hmm. And you can, you signed up on the website for Scorpion Mask, which is the publisher of this game, which is a really cool name. And they have a link to a supplier that sells this game for them, and they're sold out as well. So you can sign up for notifications to get notified when they are in restock.
Yes.
So a little bit of a bummer this close to Christmas, but we did want to mention this game if you are out and about and you happen to run into it. It is very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, and obviously, like, it's if you have a pilot in your life, like...
Oh, yeah, completely.
They might think it's easier than flying a regular plane, but it's fun.
All right. Anything more about Sky Team?
Sky Team, it's a good one. I don't think there's that much to say. It's tough. But for me, I'll just say for me, not after losing and not wanting to play a game again, like this one didn't have that much of a like, okay, I'm not doing this again.
Well, yeah, and I think that has to do with a lot of things, but the time is a huge contributor to that.
Yeah. Time commitment and then loss. The higher the time commitment, the harder the loss is for me.
Sure, yeah.
Which I hate very much.
That makes sense, though.
And I just love the dice help a lot. I like dice games. And so rolling dice, and you just deal with what you have. There's really not a ton of initial planning during the gameplay, but there is some strategery based on what your partner plays. So
Yeah.
it's a good teeter-totter of balance.
Yes. And not a hard game to learn.
No, not initially. There's different sections of the airplane that you have to control. That's the main thing, because you have to be like, in this section, do they have to be equal, or do they have to be within 3, or do they have to add up to more than 8? And then like stuff of dice combinations that you just have to remember. But once you get that down, it's pretty easy. You can get that plane down as well.
Well, we wanted to mention 2 people that gave us some feedback from last week's episodes, and they might both be named Steven.
Yeah, so we posed a bunch of questions last week with with our episodes. We talked about holiday traditions. We talked about games you play, movies, Christmas miracles, whatever. We covered it all. And so first we want to say thank you to Steven or Stefan, possibly.
It's Steven with a PH, or it's Stefan.
And he says that they have a tradition of watching Christmas Eve on Sesame Street every year on Christmas Eve.
That's cool.
That's kind of a fun one. And then they open one gift as well.
Yeah. I've heard of that one before.
Yeah, so like we mentioned it in our families. It must be a Midwest or a Scandinavian thing, but doing it all on Christmas Eve was the thing to do. And so one gift on Christmas Eve is just... It's foreign to us,
right?
But it's cool. It's cool to hear. And then he also says, this is my favorite part, is that he didn't have a fireplace in his first home, or in their first home, so he hung a Santa Claus key on the front door. So that's pretty great.
Yes.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, because how does Santa get in if there's no chimney?
I know. That's crazy. But if you've watched the Santa Claus movie, we know.
We definitely know.
He creates one.
Yes. You had in Minnesota, because you were born in Minnesota, lived there till 5.
Yeah.
You had a fireplace, yes?
I don't think we did.
Oh, you didn't?
I don't think we did in the house that I grew up in.
Okay. Well, I definitely did.
Yeah. I don't remember one in that house. Not to say that it wasn't there, but I was also 5.
Yeah, you should remember everything.
Oh, thank you.
All right, and then the other Steve said...
Yeah, our friend from Critical Encounters.
Yes.
He also has a tradition of doing a pickle ornament.
Which is, if you've never heard of it, you put the pickle ornament on, and then people have to find it.
Yeah. He says the kids they hide it on the tree, and then they try to find it. It's a race or something like that.
Yeah.
I've heard of that before. We've just never done it. And you see pickle ornaments all over.
Yeah.
With like Target and just at the stores and stuff. So that's a fun tradition that I know that Steve does, and probably a lot of others based on what I've seen in the stores. So that's pretty fun.
Well, let's use his suggestion, because Steve suggested
true.
Maybe one of the questions we could ask each other
All right.
is what your favorite ornament is.
Do you have a favorite Christmas ornament,
You
Angela?
need to go first.
I need to go first?
Because I need to mull this over.
You have multiples?
No, I just have never thought of this question.
Oh, I thought for sure I knew what yours was. But
Oh, now I do. Yeah.
So I'll answer mine, and I don't know if I have a favorite, but I have 2 that I always like. Well, okay. It's changing right now.
Oh.
When I open our ornament box, there's always a few that I look forward to either seeing or putting up.
Okay.
Like, it's not, I don't really mind, I don't really care if I put them up, but I like to see them get put up and make sure that they're on the tree.
Yes.
So there's a C-3PO head. It's just bright gold, which is really cool.
Yes.
So that's one of my favorites. There's a Lego one. It's like a clear plastic ball with Lego pieces in it.
Yep.
I think I got that from like an ornament exchange at work years ago.
Yeah, you totally did.
That's just a fun... I had never seen anything like that at the time. So that's one of my favorites. And then I have, speaking of Sesame Street, I have Sesame Street ornaments from when I was a kid. And they're like porcelain, Hallmark Sesame Street ornaments. And there's like a Bert and Ernie, who were my favorite. A Big Bird, a Grover, or maybe Grover didn't make it that long.
No, Grover's in there.
He's still alive?
He's got a snowman.
Okay, yeah, he does. Yep. And so like those were my favorite as a kid, and it's just fun to see those come out. Because I know that they're, 40 years old, which is cool.
That is cool.
How about you?
Mine is Jack Skellington.
Yeah. But explain what it is. It's just a...
It's his face. It's from Disneyland. And it's a white ball,
It's
right?
like
it's
a classic Christmas ornament.
Yeah.
But
it's just Jack Skellington's face. And it's probably hard to see from far away, but everything that's black is glittery black. And I love The Nightmare Before Christmas. I think it's such a good movie. And so I like Jack Skellington. Yeah, so he's a good fixture.
yeah, that was a funny one for me because I never grew up watching that one. And then I knew, because my mom thought it was creepy.
Well, it is a little.
Yeah,
I guess.
and like not cutesy. So like putting that on the ornament on the tree, I was like, oh yeah, grandma's not going to like this one. But, whatever.
Whatever.
We've had it for what, 8 years, 9 years now?
Yeah, I mean... quite a while.
Yeah. So, yeah. Do you guys have a favorite ornament? Or
let us know.
do you do like the star on top or like...
Or a bow?
Yeah, that's a hard one for us because we go back and forth between different things to put on top.
Or I was reading Christmas trivia for the kids one day last week, and it said the traditional thing to put on top of a tree is an angel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we used to do that as a kid. We had
An angel?
Yeah.
Okay, see, I've never...
You never had that?
No.
What did you do as a kid?
I think it was just a star.
A star.
Yeah.
Yeah. But your mom always had like the magazine looking Christmas tree.
Oh, yeah, no, I was not allowed to touch the Christmas tree or put anything up
Yeah.
on the Christmas tree.
It was very well put together,
Yes.
and it looked like it was from a magazine, which is
Yeah.
great.
That's one way to do it.
It is.
To not get any of your family involved.
Yep, I think our star is drooping right now, which, whatever.
You are the only one tall enough to fix that.
I am. I'm going to leave it as long as I can.
Great.
Merry Christmas, Angela.
Merry Christmas. All right, guys. So we hope Sky Team appeals to you or maybe someone in your life. And if you can't get it this Christmas because you can't find it, then think about it for a birthday.
We hope you have a great time looking for this game.
Great. Take luck and care for it.
We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Just make sure your levelometer is level this holiday season.
Absolutely.
And,
Level it out.